Well, the Apostle Paul has described a pretty bleak viewpoint, philosophy of the world, where people simply pursue their own passions. One of the ways it's said in our culture today is you only live once, YOLO. So do anything, do everything that makes you happy, that satisfies your desires. And people then cross the boundaries that God has clearly set for identity, for intimacy, relationships, for business, for finance, for every aspect of life. God has given to us good, clear principles and boundaries by which we ought to live. And yet, our passions, our appetites, our desires want more. We want something else, or I want to be in control. So, Paul was looking around at Gentile and even some of the Jewish world where people were abandoning clear evidence, rebelling against the authority of God, and turned. He talks about sexuality, where men burned in their passion for one another, women doing what is unnatural with their bodies. We look around and that's happening today because of unbridled, unbounded appetites, passions, desires that people are following. And he says, therefore, this is the reason God gave them over to degrading passion, for their women exchanged the natural function for that which is unnatural. They exchanged the natural function of their heart, their mind, and their body for that which is unnatural. Because now God removes his there is, it's commonly called a slippery slope, nothing but going downhill. So as we look to our own personal lives, we look to the life of the church, life of our community around it. Let's refresh our appreciation for the law of God, because it is good. It brings healing where there's brokenness, where there was rebellion. It brings restoration where there was animosity. Now there is kinship all through Christ, and our hearts then begin to appreciate and desire and love the boundary that God has given to us, because now we recognize his wisdom, love expressed in these identifying guardrail type. So, as we rejoice in the grace of God, as we live in the identity of Christ, we're free to do anything. But not everything is good. Paul will get into that later here and also in his letter to the church in Corinth. Today, we want to recognize the disastrous effect that our rebellion can, when we absolutely refuse the authority of God, and God finally says, okay, you can have your own way. He gave them over. He abandoned them to their desires. That challenging. That is a catastrophic day. God hands you over own passions and desires. Then you are a slave, taskmaster that will never be satisfied. But if we will submit to authority and lordship of every decision of our life, the way we spend our time, the way we spend our money, the way we spend our energy, we will submit to Jesus and let people see Christ in us, then he will bless with the heavenly blessing, and he will lift from us that curse of being without him. Abide with us. Abide. That's our goal. We want to we want to cultivate relationship with God. We also want to recognize there are people who have abandoned their relationship with God, have rebelled against Him, has abandoned them to their desires, honoring their decisions. We still have compassion and expect, hopefully, expectantly, confidently, that there will come a day when some of these people will hear the right words spoken at the right time. They'll be convicted of the truth, converted. Our job, love people who need mercy, to love people who need grace, because we fit right in. Rejoice in the love of God. Long for His law. It's good, refreshes heart, and renews the mind. Live in a way that expresses your love. See Him and be. He loves you.